Hello there guys, Blair Harrison aka Harrison Productions here, and I hope you all had a very happy New Year's Eve. I know I did, which probably explains I haven't uploaded much, but you know, I'm back hopefully. Sorry if I sound a bit tired and that. My sleeping pattern has been messed up, so I don't sleep my usual time because again I was celebrating New Year's Day, but you know, we'll see how this goes. So today's video, I thought let's do something a little bit different. You know, we've done all the Doctor Who's, we've done all the guitars and that. I thought, what else could I do that's unique, interesting? And then I thought, what if I show you the films I bought from last year? These Blu-rays I've got, you know, because I like physical media. And this might be a shock to you. I do watch movies and I buy physical media. So I thought, why not use both and show you what I've got? And I appreciate if you give this a chance. Yeah, okay, it might not be my Doctor Who or my guitars, but I appreciate you actually giving this a chance instead of using your prejudice just because there's no Dalek or Doctor Who monster or some shitty CGI special effect. I like to show this stuff and get you interested in, because I like sharing what I like to you, and hopefully you'll be like, hey, that sounds cool, I might check it out. So these are Blu-rays I bought from last year. So the first thing I bought was the season 19 Blu-ray set of Doctor Who, which I've already done an unboxing of, so you can go and watch that if you want, see if you like it or not. But the first film I did bought, well, bunch of films I bought, was by this certain director. Kind of an acclaimed Japanese director. You might have heard of him or not. A lot of film fans will say his name, love his films, you know. So the first thing I bought was this little film, Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa. Notable that it was, I believe it was the first Japanese film to be critically acclaimed outside of the country, that got wide acclaim. I haven't seen this film in a long time, but this film was my introduction to Kurosawa, and I remember liking it. I think what unique me was I had no idea where the hell the story was going. I won't mention the plot of this film because I'd rather you actually watch it yourself, and also I haven't seen it in ages, but it looks unique. I really enjoyed it. There was some great camera work, and of course, if you've seen Kurosawa's films, he is notable for movement in his films. You know, he's a director who likes a lot of movement. Really highly recommend it. This film has influenced every filmmaker like John Boorman and many others. So yeah, check it out. Now the reason I bought Kurosawa, or that and a bunch of other films, was because I'm doing a college course and I had to, basically my lecturer said we had to pick a scene from a movie we like. So I picked this certain film by the director Kurosawa, not Rashomon, another one. And when I was in the shop, I was trying to look for the film I was wanting. So originally I was going to buy it on DVD until I found this little box set, because I used to own this set years ago, not on Blu-ray but on DVD, and I was lucky to find it on Blu-ray, so I thought, why not, let's buy it. So another Kurosawa sort of thing, we have the Samurai Blu-ray Collection. These features 5 of his samurai films. These include The Seven Samurai, Theater of Blood, The Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, and the sequel to Yojimbo, Sanjuro. I've not seen all of them, I've only seen 3. The first, of course, being Seven Samurai. I haven't seen this film in a very long time, again, but I quite liked it from what I remember. In case you don't know, if you don't know, the story of the film focuses on the villagers being threatened and attacked by these bandits, an army of bandits. So they decide to go into a local town to hire samurais, the 7 samurai. And basically the 7 samurai teach these villagers how to defend for themselves. And of course, we have the most epic battle between the 7 samurais and the villagers against the bandits. You've probably seen this formula before. This film is a classic. You've probably seen this a lot in a lot of top 50 greatest films of all time and greatest foreign films. It's a great little film, you know, great character studies and all that. If there's one criticism I have with it, is the ending. like the battle scene, I feel like it goes a little bit too long. But then again, this film is like 2 hours long, and I feel like the battle goes a bit too long. But that's just my silly little opinion. But you know, don't let that distract you from not watching this film. I highly recommend it. It's a great film. Theater of Blood, which I haven't seen, but from what I heard, it's supposedly based on a Shakespeare play. I heard that's supposed to be good. Then we have The Hidden Fortress, which I've only seen once, and from what I remember, I quite liked it. It was a unique film. I can't really say the plot because I need to give it another watch to give my thoughts on it, but this film, of course, is probably best known for being the influence for George Lucas's Star Wars: A New Hope. I mean, basically, the formula of this movie is the influence for C-3PO and R2-D2 and all that. I mean, the two main characters kind of remind me a bit of R2-D2 and C-3PO, but that's just my silly opinion. But I really did like the film, so check that out. Then we have Yojimbo. This is the reason I bought this box set, because Yojimbo is possibly my favorite Kurosawa film at this moment of recording. It's just a unique film, and this is the film I picked to choose my scene kind of analysis thing for my course. Most notably the ending, which I won't spoil. But in case you don't know, the story is about a Ronin who comes into a town that is corrupted by crime and I guess rivalry. Yeah, rivalry. And basically, he decides to try and sort it out. It's a great film. The actor who plays the main character, actually mainly most of Kurosawa's films, Toshio Mifune, excellent. I think it's one of his best roles in his films. But it's unique. The story's interesting. And you're hoping, does the character make it or not? And you got the villain, Yunisuk, played by this actor. I cannot say. I apologize. My Japanese is very terrible. But I really loved him. He was great as the villain. He has a unique kind of body language. You just know this guy is a slimy villain you do not want to mess with. Highly recommend it. It's my favorite Kurosawa film. Next, I have these three films. We have the Monty Python films. We have the Monty Python, The Holy Grail, Monty Python, The Life of Brian, and Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. I love the Monty Python films. I've recently been rewatching Monty Python's Flying Circus, which I think holds up very well. I mean, I like it. It's a great fucking speedboats. Jesus. I'm a big fan of Monty Python. I thought, let's get these movies again, because I used to own these years ago, but unfortunately I sold them stupidly. So I've got these Blu-rays. Monty Python, The Holy Grail, which is possibly my favorite. I think it's the one that stands up well, but I need to rewatch it again. I haven't seen these in a long time, but these should be fun. Yeah, check them out. Next, we have Young Frankenstein, the classic horror comedy by Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder. Again, I haven't seen this one in a long time, but I think most of you have seen it. It's a great film. It's a parody of the classic Universal Frankenstein movies with Boris Karloff, and they kind of a good companion piece to those movies. In case you're wondering, the order is to watch this after Ghost of Frankenstein. But overall, it's a really funny film, and yeah, check it out. It's some good stuff. Next, I have Escape from New York by John Carpenter. This is a film I have not seen yet. In fact, the reason I've not seen this film is because over the years there have been not good film transfers on DVD and previous Blu-ray releases. Well, from what I heard, but supposedly this is supposed to be a good one. This is the brand new restoration by Studio Canal, so I'm very interested to see how this turns out. So yeah. Next, we have 2019, After the Fall of New York. This is a Escape from New York / Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior rip-off film. But it's unique. It's a unique knockoff film. I don't want to say much about this because I've got plans to do an kind of audio podcast discussing this movie, so make sure you see that. But It's so bad, it's good. That's all I can say. It's one of those films you need to watch with friends on a night. Get some drinks, get some food, just sit with friends and have a blast with this movie of laughter. It's just absolute great cheese. So yeah, this film, check it out. Next we have Suspiria, the classic Dario Argento horror flick or giallo flick by him. This is the brand new 40th anniversary restoration release, and I've not seen it, but from what I heard, the restoration is really good. You can see more of the colors, so I'm interested in that. It's Dario Argento. I think it's probably his most famous movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I mean, for Christ's sake, there was a remake like last year with the music by Tom York of Radiohead. So I've not seen that, but I'm curious. So yeah, Suspiria. And next, I'm going to do these films. These are films released by Arrow Video. Now, if you don't know, Arrow Video is a UK film distributor. They release a lot of kind of cult movies like horror or action flicks. It's one of my favorite companies, them and 88 Films, who did 2019 After the Fall of New York, re-release these classic kind of cult films from all over the world, and this is fun. So the first one we have, following from Argento, we have Deep Red. Notable, it was kinda the first film that Argento collaborate with the band Goblin to do the music for. I haven't seen this film again in a very long time, but I was unique. The story was unique, and I did jump a few times. The dubbing is not very good. The English dubbing is not very good, but that's what you get with these movies. But highly recommend it. Dario Argento's Deep Red, or Profondo Rosso, the Italian title. That was terrible, I know. Next, we have these 4 films by Italian director Mario Bava. I guess you could say the massive influence on these Italian directors like Argento, Lucio Fulci, Luigi Cozzi, many others. So these are the films I picked. I've not seen all of these movies except for one, which I'll mention, which is Black Sabbath. It's a horror anthology movies featuring 3 segments, these being The Telephone, the Giallo-inspired film, The Wurdeluk, I think that's how you say it, which features a certain Boris Karloff of Frankenstein fame as the bad guy. And finally, The Drop of Water, which is a kind of a gothic Victorian horror story. I haven't seen this film in a long time, but I really like it. The Telephone I recommend because it's a unique giallo, and actually was one of the few to mention a kind of lesbian subtext story during a time when LGBT topics were illegal back then. Well, I don't know if it was in Italy. I know it was in the UK and that, but you know, but it's a really good film. I recommend it. The other films I bought are the other titles being Black Sunday, which is a gothic horror film starring Barbara Steele of Hammer Horror fame, and Shivers by David Cronenberg, you know, fame. Not seen that, but I heard that's supposed to be good. We have The Girl Who Knew Too Much, which is notable because it was the first giallo film. Well, that's what it claimed. It was the first film in the giallo genre, and it actually features a young John Saxon before he did Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee and playing the father of Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street. And finally, we have Blood and Black Lace, another giallo. It's really dark from what I've heard. I think the original title was called, in Italy it was like 6 Women for the Killer. That should explain the movie, but I've heard that's supposed to be good, so that should be fun. Yeah. There you go. Some films released by the good old people at Arrow Video. Yeah. So yeah, that was my kind of overview of my Blu Ray collection that I bought from last month. I'd like to know your thoughts if you'd enjoyed this video, and if you would like me to do more of this kind of stuff. Especially, I mean, I like doing this because I do like physical media, and I love mentioning these films and getting people kind of interested in checking these films out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time for another video. Take care, folks. Thank you so much for staying this long. If you'd like to see more, then please hit that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also check me out on other platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also listen to my NAF music on SoundCloud, which is fun. And most importantly, check out the other channels that are associated in this video and the channel itself. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time for another video. Take care, folks.